Hey, folks, it isn't often that we have one of our great producers who writes a terrific book, but Abi Ishola is in the house. She's the author of a new book called Patience is a Subtle Thief, and she's one of our terrific contributing producers. Abi, how proud are you of this?
I'm so proud. I'm in awe when I look at it. I could barely open it sometimes because I'm just like, I can't believe this thing is out in the world.
How long did it take you to write it?
Oh my God, the story has been with me for over a decade. I would say it took seriously me writing probably about 7 years. And over the course of that, having children, taking breaks, it's been a ride.
It's a novel, and it is a book set in the early 90s in Nigeria, when the country's political system is really at a boiling point. Describe that major theme in this novel, please.
Sure. So basically what happened was the people of Nigeria were promised democracy year after year by the military dictatorship. So when that time came, there was a wealthy businessman named MKO Abiola who ran for the presidency. But by the time the election happened, it was a free and fair election, but the military annulled the election in the end. So that's where the title comes in, because I think people were very patient for this change to happen, only for it to be stolen from them. So that's the backdrop of the story.
Did you come up with that title?
I did.
I'm curious. You're a terrific journalist, broadcaster, and you've been on the air as well, and producer. The only writing I've done is nonfiction because I have no ability to do the other kind of writing. Where does your gift of writing fiction come from?
Well, I would say that I was blessed to have a father who was a great orator, and he used to tell us so many stories, a lot of like folk tales from Nigeria, and I would just hang on his every word. So storytelling for me started from that point, listening to stories that my dad would share. And then obviously reading books. I love books, and I love writers like Toni Morrison. And of course, she's one of the best. So to aspire to be like her is aiming pretty high. But I just love the art of storytelling. Even through journalism, I like the writing aspect of things. So this was something I wanted to tackle for myself.
Share with folks, and by the way, the book, you see, Abi's good on the branding end too. She got over her shoulder, but this is the book, Patience is a Subtle Thief. Describe your growing up. What was it like?
Sure. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. My parents are Nigerian immigrants. They came in the late 70s and raised my sister and I in Nigeria. But there was one year when I was 12 that my parents decided, you guys are moving to Nigeria to, get in touch with your roots. So we moved there, my sister and I, and we lived with my uncle. And it was such a transformative experience. I learned so much and I soaked up everything. And I think that experience stayed with me, and it's what inspired me to write this story. I was there when that election happened. And then obviously meeting a lot of Nigerian people here is what inspired a lot of the characters in the novel.
Biggest message in the novel?
The biggest message I would say is having resilience, staying on course. My main character, Patience, she is looking for her mother. She hasn't seen her mother in over a decade. So her father is not very nice. So she has to look for answers herself. She does get into some shady dealings when she realizes that she has to gather money to get to America, but she stays resilient and she realizes that her dreams actually matter. And then obviously my other characters are dealing with, the democratic issues there, the political issues there, I should say, and how that affect their personal lives. So I would say staying resilient and also staying on course.
Let me push you a little bit into an area, and I'm sure you weren't thinking I would go in, but you've been with us long enough to know that I can do that sometimes, good, bad, or indifferent. So I'm listening to you talk about the experience in Nigeria, that election, the view of democracy or not. To what degree do you believe, Abi, that your view of democracy and democratic with a small d government has been influenced by your parents' experience and the Nigerian experience? There are some folks who only know this form of democracy, and you were born in Miami, but you've heard enough, right? You're connected enough. You're your parents connected. Do you believe you see our struggles to maintain democracy at a crossroads is a long time series that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Do you believe you see that any differently than those of us who just know this?
Well, I think that, in Nigeria at the time, it's interesting because I don't think people understood what democracy was, though they wanted it so badly. And I think, people look to America, and that's also a part of the theme in the book. She's obsessed with America because she knows her mother is there, but also
Patient is obsessed with America. Yeah.
Yes. And also that's the culture there. People look to America for everything. So I think when people in Nigeria at that time thought of democracy, they thought that, the country can be on its way to being like America. So I don't think America realizes the kind of influence that it has on the world, whether that be good or not great. But the influence is very deep and it's very vast. So for me, as you said, I grew up here. So, but going back to Nigeria and living there for a year showed me another world and another way that people think and another way that people behave. So,
yeah. Real quick before I let you go, your family's reaction to the book?
My mom, I keep saying she's selling more books than Barnes and Noble. She's calling everybody and she's like, I'll buy it, I'll pay for it, and you just pay me back.
Oh, that is the greatest.
She read it in 2 days. So that alone is enough for me, knowing that my mom is proud of me. So yeah.
That's pretty much all it takes. Hey, listen, yeah. I lied. I got one more quick one. Why journalism for you?
Again, I love storytelling. I connect with people in a really, deep way. I always ask myself when things happen, I always say, well, why did that happen? Why did that person do that? So I think that being very interested in the human experience is why I wanted to be a journalist. Like I love autobiographies. I love people's stories.
Yeah. Hey, Abby, first of all, congratulations. Patience is a subtle thief. This is Abby's first novel. I have a feeling it may not be her last, but also thank you for being part of our team. You add so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. You're amazing.
Well, I don't know about that. And also Alvin, our director, who brought us to you. Thank you, Alvin, as well. Abby, all the best.
Okay? Thank you.
Sell books. It's good. Hopefully we just helped. This is Steve Adubato. That is Abi Ishola, one of our terrific producers who's a great author. Check the book out. See you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Holy Name, Delta Dental of New Jersey, Prudential Financial, NJM Insurance Group, Operating Engineers, Local 825. NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan. And by the New Jersey Education Association. Promotional support provided by Meadowlands Chamber. And by NJ Biz.
Are you looking to be a part of a dynamic, forward-thinking business service organization? At the Meadowlands Chamber, every day we connect, collaborate, and innovate, helping to drive business and economic growth in the greater Meadowlands and New Jersey. I invite you to visit our Meadowlands Chamber headquarters, an open office facility with access to resources for our members' businesses and networking needs. Together we will build the Chamber of the future and the next generation of leaders.